I'm seeing with new eyes, even in the dark. Let's go get lost. Just take my hand, ignore the cost, forget the plan. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night and stay in the streets where we feel? Can we turn back the night and stay in the streets where we feel? Can we turn back the night? Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can't come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly.
What is good, Nimfam? Welcome back to another Team Help Ultimate Champion stream for Game Week 160. And with me, as always, is the fabulous SpeedyQQ. How are you doing and what's been happening, buddy?
Thanks for having me once again, Nim. Very well on my side. Very, very happy that the international break is over. It really took forever. I hope all our listeners and viewers, national teams did well during the break, and hopefully there's no injuries coming back to Ultimate Champions. I'm really obviously happy that there will be a full game week, basically that's starting tomorrow for game week 160. Everyone must remember it's obviously Good Friday and celebrated in a lot of countries that the game week starts early tomorrow, so make sure your teams for your various divisions and tournaments are set up. Arsenal has returned to UC. That's some big news that has come in, and they will be with us for the end of the season and the whole of next season. So the likes, especially the new signings that happened this year, your Declan Rices, your Julian Timbers, and things like that, your David Ryers, they are now available in the game and on auctions, especially Declan Rice went for a pretty penny. He's one that's really sought after. We also hosted our first ever UC Poker Night, which was a massive...
I couldn't make that.
Massive success, yeah, unfortunate. It was held on this past Sunday evening. Very big congratulations to Blama, one of our UC managers, for being the overall winner, and obviously everyone that made it to the final table and won some great rewards. One of the main rewards that was given out to Blama is a choice of his UC licensed club jersey, and he selected an Arsenal jersey as the winner. So that will be sent off to him in due course. Norway is back. Norway resumes in game week 160, which starts tomorrow. There is only one match, though, between Odd and Haugesund, because we have a midweek game week coming up, which will host the other Norway game. So Norway is back, and obviously very good news about that. We have 5 new clubs from Norway. The 3 promoted clubs that have joined us, which is Friedrichstadt, KFUM Oslo, and Christian Sundt. And two big boys that we didn't have last season, Viking and Rosenborg, have joined Ultimate Champions. So we have all 16 teams from the Norway Eliteserien League. The persona reveal that is scheduled for tomorrow. So there's a lot of hype and excitement regarding the PFP collection and the actual reveal tomorrow. And then obviously this weekend, Man City versus Arsenal, massive tussle, and we can watch the football while eating our Easter eggs, hopefully. And last but not least, Nim, my MGC for the Holo pack is
Yes.
gone.
What? What did you do
It's
with it?
gone. My 80,000 MGC, I was peer pressured by our UC community in general to rip a couple of packs when Arsenal launched. So 3 golds were ripped, and I must say the athletes that I got were quite nice. So I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, the grind will potentially have to start for the next holo, and hopefully no other big teams get released in due course to tempt me.
Oh, well, lucky you, ripping some nice packs there. But yeah, you're gonna have to start grinding again now. That's the only problem.
Most definitely, but I must say the 6 players that I did get, I think it was 3 epics, 3 mythics, really strengthened my team. I had Kai Havertz, mythic. I got 2 Orajus from Barcelona, Ilkay Gundogan from Barcelona, João Cancelo from Barcelona, and then I think it was Connor Jennings from Tranmere, if I'm not mistaken. So really, really happy with those packs. And if anyone doesn't know out there, MGC is our in-game token, so it's what you can award by competing in the tournaments and the leagues. And with that MGC, you can basically buy packs and start strengthening your collection and start entering more tournaments. So that's a way to progress within Ultimate Champions.
Love it. I love it. Well, international break is indeed over. So we're back to full game week. And before that, we wanted to update you guys on our silver pack winners. So our question was the goalkeeper with the most saves. So that's a big congratulations to Zach A27, both with Stojan Lekovic with the 7 saves, and also Go Gulat as well. Our second winner. So we were only going to give away the 1 silver pack, weren't we, Speedy? But because both of you guessed correctly, it was a tie, and Speedy was very, very nice, feeling generous, and said that we could give out the 2 packs. So congratulations to you guys. Big claps in the chat, please, guys. And for your chance of winning some epic prizes for this coming game week, all you have to do is stay tuned until the end of the stream. So for more information, yep.
You have to be the stream, guys. So stay till the end. We'll give you all the information of what's coming up, and there'll be something special lined up.
Definitely, Nim's Easter Cup, and we'll tell you all about that towards the end of the stream. But don't forget to get your questions in, as we will also do Q&A towards the end. I know you guys have a channel in Discord where we've got a few questions as well. So that's brilliant. So we'll try and get through as many of those as we can. But before we head into Game Week 160 chat, myself and Speedy wanted to do a bit of boasting this game week, because we don't get the chance often, do we, Speedy? So we may as well take the opportunity while we can. And Speedy, I want you to tell us how you got on Game Week 158, UC Star Division, 3rd place, 2,561 points, 2,000 Una, and 3,600 MGC. Also, tell us about that epic card you got.
That's correct. So yeah, I was lucky. If you can recall, I think the weekend game week before that, in game week 156, I actually came first in the UC Star division. So it was very, very nice to back it up with a 3rd place. I couldn't touch Dexter, who ended second. He had Lewis Wing, who he captained, and I think it got him 800 to 900 points, just one athlete. And then Jet won the actual Star Division lineup. So massive congratulations for that win. But yes, once again, nice to earn some UNA and MGC. Obviously, had a decent lineup. Most of my athletes performed quite well. I think the lowest of the bunch in my starting lineup was Gustavo Sangare, but really impressed with how the lineup did, and to get another podium finish. Was also quite happy with the epic card. I got Nikola Juric. He's from Vozdovac. He's quite a decent player as well. So happy to add to my collection as well. But it was double trouble. I wasn't the only one to have success. Our chats with FPL NIM obviously assisted, and also in Gameweek 158, you podiumed in the UC International Tier 1 Semi-Pro 5-a-side division with 1,247 points, second place, 685 UNA, and 1,170 MGC. Very well done, NIM.
Thank you. Yeah, it was Leno and those Barcelona boys that brought it in for me. But my first proper podium, like, finish in quite some time, and nice to actually get some Una in the bank as well from that one.
That's great, and I can actually remember us having a discussion when setting up this team before Game Week 158, and we said, let's rather put the third Barcelona player in, even though we're going to take the negative 25%, because our options weren't that wide, and even with that 25% penalty, second place, massive respect and very well done.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate that. No, it's nice to do well, and it's that kind of little incentive you need to keep going. But we do also want to just give a recap on how our suggestions went for you guys as well. And how did our players get on in Game Week 158, Speedy?
For the first time this season, I think we did very well. So our first selection was Akib Adelakun. Doncaster continued their recent form with another victory, and our selection for Game Week 158 scored again. I see the goal doesn't show on the caption, but he did score a goal. It's taken his scoring tally, I think, to 5 in 10 matches with 4 assists. He also played in Game Week 159, which happened this midweek. He never added any goals, but he scored very decently with 156 UC points. It's always nice to see a forward scoring UC points when not scoring a goal, because then you know they are very active in the passing and the build-up play and things like that to obtain your possessive and defensive points, which is great. I remember there was one on the marketplace for about $19 or $20, which I really wanted to go pick up. When I was going through our information today, I went to go look, and there's none more on the marketplace. Like I said last week, he's lowly minted, so very rare. So if you're holding him, hold on to him as tight as possible, because he really looks to be performing very well for Doncaster. Then our Reading man, Harvey Knips, no goals or assists for him in Game Week 58. However, we did mention on the previous stream that his all-round gameplay ensures that even when he is not scoring or involved with the goals, he scores well. And he scored 172 UC points. Remember, those are base points. So if you have the epic or the mythic, that extra percentage condition bonus and rarity bonus gets added onto that. And then last but not least, Alpha Sissoko. I love my little QRM boys, even though they're languishing in the relegation zone. They did concede their first goal in 5 matches. If you guys can recall, they were on a 4 consecutive clean sheet run. But the little blessing is Alpha Sissoko got us an assist. So he also scored decently with 139 points. So I think overall, all 3 players that were selected were a success. And I really hope whoever was listening on our last stream potentially selected a couple of them.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you did have any of these guys, and if they helped you out at all. That would be really interesting. And so how did our teams get on then, Speedy?
teams went just as well. Reading, who's really playing quite well. They had a great display, keeping the clean sheet and scoring 4 goals. The massive standout in UC terms, as I mentioned earlier, very great selection there, Dexter, for your captain, Lewis Wing. He scored 410 UC base points. And if you played him or even captained him, I'm sure you did well in that specific tournament. Like I said, Dexter captained the Lewis Wing Mythic in the UC Star Division, which got him second place. And he scored, and remember, guys, this is one player, 882 points. So that is a massive score. That's a nice thing I think about UC is there isn't a cap level at the top, so that you only score 100 points or 200 points. So you can be going into the last day of the game week and have 1 or 2 players in, and if they have a worldie, you still stand a chance of moving up that leaderboard. So I think that's what makes Ultimate Champions very, very exciting. Then we move on to QRM. As I mentioned, they are in the relegation zone, even though they have 1 win and 4 draws in their last 5. There's only 9 matches left in League 2, if I'm not mistaken, and they're going to need to try and turn those draws into wins if they survive. Remember, if they do get relegated, QRM as a team will not be covered as they drop down from League 2. So very important that we see what happens there, especially I have quite a few QRM players, so I wouldn't like them to be relegated. And then last but not least, Doncaster. They are really on fire lately. They had another victory. They moved further away from the relegation zone. They've now also picked up another win in game week 159, which was the midweek. So they have a record of 6 wins and 3 draws in their last 10 outings, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, so if you wanted to kind of look in that direction, looks like they're picking up some form at the moment. Cool. All right then. Well, let's get into it. Everybody's here for a bit of Game Week 160 action. We've waited long enough for it. It is time to chat about the teams to target for Game Week 160. Let us know.
That's correct. So we're going to start off with Peterborough. We have used them previously on our podcast. They've had, after their 5 consecutive League One victories, they lost narrowly to table toppers Portsmouth in their last outing. They play bottom of the table Carlisle and will look to get back to winning ways and obviously consolidate their position in the promotion playoff. I think they're lying 4th currently, 3rd or 4th if I'm not mistaken. Cambridge only... Carlisle have only picked up 1 point in their last 6 outings and have only scored twice during this period. No, I'm lying. Carlisle, at being at the foot of the table. They also play at home. So there's potential for many, many goals and obviously a clean sheet. So be confident, I would say confident using any of their players that are in their regular starting lineup. And just take note, Hector Cipriano will not be available due to suspension. I think it's his second game that he'll be sitting out this specific game week. Then we move to, as I mentioned earlier, the Elite Serene is back. So we're going to cover Hawkerson. The reason we're covering Hawkerson and not Odd is just because we released their new season cards. So they are out available in packs. There's been a couple of auctions, Dutch and normal auctions that have been running with them. They did not have the best of 22-23 seasons. Remember, the stats that you are seeing on that graphic is from last season, as they only start their campaign this weekend. In their preseason, they've done decently. They've scored 17 goals, conceded 8. You can make up your mind on the opposition that they've played. They played a MLS team, they played a Swedish league team, and a couple of teams from the Norwegian First Division and the Elitserien. Going on last season's performances, the likes of Julius Eskesen, Egli Salvik, the goalkeeper, and Anders Bartlesen and Ulrik Fredriksson can score decently on UC. Out of those 4, I think the most consistent player, especially near the end of last season, was Ulrik Fredriksson. We will go into him a little bit later in a bit more detail. They have an average squad age of 22, so they have a lot of youngsters in their squad. So I think it'll be good to keep eyes on them, see how they go their first game, and see if there's any gems potentially to pick up moving forward. As I mentioned, they play Odd. Odd didn't have the best of pre-seasons going by the results that they had. So I think it's a 50-50 round, and Hawkinson could potentially pull it out of the bag.
Before we move on, can we just have a moment for Pelly? Because I missed the news that he'd moved on. And then you told me earlier Pellegrino has moved. And I was devastated, literally. I think for about 10 minutes. It took me 10 minutes. What? You say no, he's my best card. He can't be gone. And you're like, yes, he has. I'm like, no.
Yeah. He's moved on. So
Gutted.
not playable at this specific stage. So yeah, that's one. And then obviously Mombanga from Voda also moved on, but he is still covered as he's playing in one of our covered leagues, which is great.
Yeah. You'll just have to move on with Barcelona, Speedy, while I still try and get over it.
Get over the Pellegrino missing.
Yeah.
So Barcelona, they're unbeaten in their last 8 matches, scored 17 goals, conceded 5. They've kept 4 clean sheets. They're really starting to get into their stride. They're now second. I remember when we had them last time on the stream, or when they joined Ultimate Champions, I think they were currently lying 4th. So they are still quite a few points behind Real Madrid, but like I said, they're playing very, very well at the moment. They play at home to Las Palmas. And will be wanting to keep up the pressure on Real Madrid just in case they slip up in any games. And like I say, I predict a comfortable win. I remember in the beginning of the season, not the beginning of the season, but when they joined UC, I was saying, don't look at their defense just yet. But lately, their defense, their midfield, and their strikers all seem to be performing. So great selections for any of those players for Gameweek 160.
Absolutely. So there's the teams you should target. What about the best players?
I have to mention, and I don't care who they are playing this weekend, Mr. Declan Rice, potentially the best central midfielder to own on Ultimate Champions currently. There are some other competition, Palacios. I know Roro's watching and he hates the way I pronounce Palacios and a couple of others. But if you go and look back at Declan Rice's scores on Ultimate Champions, obviously he will be making his debut on Sunday against Man City. The move to Gunners this season, I think, has added something extra to his game, especially in the attacking department. He's a match winner, and on Ultimate Champions, even a match against Man City, as I mentioned, he can score massively on UC. His last 5 average is 264 points. His over 90% passing accuracy. His possessive stats are off the charts, and with his goal and assist threat, his offensive scores are great. So yeah, he's got 2 goals and assists in his last 3 outings. And I think the Arsenal City game, and yes, I'm speaking with a bit of a Arsenal perspective, will be one of those tight affairs where maybe 1 goal separates them. And Mr. Declan Rice is one of those guys that can stand up and get that, I think.
Yeah, and I actually did luckily get him in my kickoff pack. So I was so happy because a lot of the players I got in that pack, I didn't, weirdly, even though I had like half of the Arsenal team, I luckily did manage to pull quite a few players that I didn't have, like your Reyes, your Rice, your Trossards, people like that. So very, very happy. And as you say, I have been strong enough to put him in a few tournaments this week, despite the opposition.
100%. It's good to have some common cards from very, very top teams. It obviously assists you in the global league that runs on a every game week, and obviously you play for end of season rewards. And it's also nice to have those commons to fill the gaps in certain of your tournament teams as well, because they score very well, and they can 9 out of 10 times they can match any epic scoring. If they have a very, very good game. So it's always good to have those in your collection. The next player, we'll move to Haugesson. Once again, I mentioned him a bit earlier, Ulrich Fredriksson. He's a centre-back, scored very, very well and consistently near the end of last season with 7 green UC scores out of their last 9 games. As I said, it'll be interesting to see how they kick their season off, and if they can improve in comparison to where they ended last season. He's had a decent preseason. He actually scored a goal in one of these fixtures as well. I mentioned they play at home against Odd, who has not had the best of pre-seasons, but like I say, the campaign starts on the weekend. Anything can happen. With over 4 clearances per game and 5 and 6 ball recoveries, I think he scores very well, even if they do concede. So it's really someone to look at and be a potential differential for your teams and your lineups. And then last but not least, keeping it with Barcelona, Robert Lewandowski. He's not been as consistent a goal scorer this season yet. However, he is racking in the assists. I think he's already got more assists, 80 if I'm not mistaken, than he did last season. He's fresh off a massive UC score against Atletico Madrid. He scored 335 UC points. That included 1 goal and 2 assists. I'm just waiting for that day when he gets his hat-trick. I don't think he's got a hat-trick this season yet. So for anyone who owns him, keep playing him. Seems to be the focal point and always starting for Barcelona, and don't miss out that day when he really does kick off.
Yes, I'm very happy about owning Lemon Chopsticks, as I call him. And he's done me very proud the last few weeks, because I know that it's been one of those ones where I've not been entirely sure which one of the Barcelona forwards to play, and I've just kind of stuck with him, and it's paid off massively. And I'm pretty sure that I captained him last week in in Gameweek 158 in one of the tournaments as well, where he did very well. So yeah, very, very happy about that. Is that all of our players, Speedy? Anything else to add there?
All of our players, all of our teams, I hope we perform with our predictions as well as we did for Gameweek 158. I don't know if we want to go into the excitement or get to the questions. It's your choice, Nim.
I reckon we delve into some of these questions as well, I reckon. Let's do that. Right, okay. Well, check us on this page, and let me just grab up the Discord channel for us. Okay. I'm gonna save Hazzy's question to a bit later on, because that's basically the best question. But
it is supper time, and we don't want to get hungry too early.
Yeah, exactly. So Legendary said, should I play in the division where I don't have the best cards and have less of the highest rarity, so that I'm playing against less people and better prizes? Or should I play in the lower division where I have better cards and can max out on the rarity level, but will play against a lot more people for worse prizes?
So on my side, obviously for everyone listening, we have various divisions or various tournaments that have various divisions, and the divisions have different requirements to register. Some may require maximum of 4 3 mythics and the rest epics. Some might require higher a mythic quantity in those specific divisions. So what I would suggest is playing in the lower divisions where your cards and card rarities can be more competitive. I think if you are collecting regular rewards in these divisions, even though they are lower than the higher divisions, you can build your MGC and UNA up and then play or plan to buy better athletes in the future. This would then assist your progression into the higher divisions, where you will stand a chance to compete and obviously win better rewards. So I think it's a progression. Obviously, if you have a big collection with a whole variety of epics compared to mythics, you can enter 5, 6, 7 of those lower division tournaments. So then the lower reward, if you podium or place in 3 or 4 of those, isn't that low. So you need to weigh up your pros and cons on how your collection is and what you do have. But I would suggest, if you have lower cards, start off in the lower divisions. If you are continuously podiuming or coming in the top 10 and getting rewards, have a little patience, wait until that builds up, and then make your plans on who am I going to get in so I can move to that next division. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good shout. Hazzy did have a more UC related question. He said, you're a new player with $100 budget. What do you focus on and why?
I would focus on the tournaments with five-a-side divisions. You obviously don't need, if you're just starting out, you don't need that many athletes to kick off your start. You should be able to pick up some decent epics with $100. You need to pick a tournament because obviously we've got quite a few various tournaments, whether it's nationals or whether it's under 23 or UC international, UC or the All Stars. So you need to first find out which tournament you want to play. Then you've got to look at those players that are applicable to that tournament. Collect the best five, fill in the gaps potentially with some comments, and then, as we mentioned in the previous answer, use it as a progression tool. I'll give you an example, and this is a true story. And yes, I've been playing for 2 years or whatever it may be. I have physically only put $100 into Ultimate Champions. This is a
No
true
way.
story. This is a true story. So
I'm shocked by that.
I don't have a massive collection. I've got over 5,000 odd collection score. Remember, I started in alpha as a player, moved into the beta. We had many pack drops that went there. So I made my first little investment of $100 where I got a couple of packs. I got lucky with certain players, and I was able to play the marketplace in trading and selling. Don't get me wrong, everything that I have won and that I have used, I have reinvested into UC to make my collection stronger, etc. And literally from that $100, yes, it took a long time. Yes, I had to go through game weeks on end of not potentially winning or podiuming, and I might not still podium or win as regularly as possible, but it's that biding your time and making the right decisions depending on what you are doing when moving forward. So a lot of people want instant success. If you have $100 and you're starting off, look at the five-a-sides, have a bit of patience, earn your MGC, build your collection score up slowly but surely, and then have a look at those packs in the pack store or on the marketplace to see if you can reinvest and build your collection stronger.
Okay. I'm gonna circle back to JB's question because I think that so legendaries like fits more broader first. So we have we have quite a lot of questions around the elites are in, with it coming back or having started again. So what sources do we have to help with research for that up and coming? Speedy, and what date do you think all elite Syrian teams will have been released with their new assets in packs?
So we obviously have the Elite Syrian channel in Discord and Perez, if you're listening, I hope you don't mind. Perez thankfully shares a lot of insights and information. He's quite well versed in the Elite Syrian League. Obviously, when Play Sharper has the Norway predictions running, that will also give a lot of our community more insights. And then other sites that I like to use, and it's not necessarily giving me information specifically about Elite Syrian, but is SofaScore and Transfer Market. These are good sites where you can check up on injuries, suspensions, and very importantly, previous stats and results as well. So by using that, engaging with the community in Discord, chatting with Perez, I hope you don't mind Perez, getting some information on that, you could potentially be well versed in the Elite Syrian. On the team releases for the Elite Syrian, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we have all 16 teams. We've released Haugesund. They were one of the first assets that we've received. I can tell you we do have the other clubs' assets as well. Our plans, and please don't take me to the bank or on the ETA or the timeline, but let's say 3 to 4 weeks, we would love to have all of them published and out, especially our new 5 clubs, which I mentioned earlier, which are basically going to be new athletes that are coming into the game. And then we'll have obviously a discussion of Are we going to do a structured airdrop? Are we just going to combine the airdrop together and have a big one with all of the new athletes, etc.? But like I say, there's always these little things that come in, the assets qualities, getting them from the clubs and things like that. But our plan is always to release them as soon as possible.
Okay. And so off of the back of that, JB asked, which player are you most excited about from the Elite Serin season?
I didn't.
Not from
I
Bodo,
didn't.
he said.
No. I saw that. I didn't have a specific player, and look, this might just be a shot in the dark. But when I was doing some research, and I'm going back to Haugesund as well. They signed a player this year in March 2024. I think around the 4th of March. Ismail Sioni from Burkina Faso. He's only 18 years old. In the preseason, and look here, don't read too much into preseason. Like I say, they potentially play weaker clubs, etc. But he scored 4 goals, including a hat-trick in their preseason friendlies. I can't say he will start, but I think it's someone to look out for and monitor and see, does he start on the weekend, how he progresses, and that potential player could be something that to grab. I mean, at 18 years of age, could potentially be a rising star. He's not minted as yet, but I know we have received his asset. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs moving forward.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay, so jot that name down then, guys. And Radu asks, what Elite Syrian underdog team do you think will perform really well? Who do you think the dark horse will be, and what Elite Syrian nice team do you think that will have a poor season and why? So who do you think is gonna like top the tops, and who's gonna be lowest of lows?
Well, on the dark horse, and look, I'm not the one that's most versed on the Elite ring, but I would like to see one of the 3 newly promoted sides that we mentioned, putting up a fight, and even if they end mid-table, etc., I think it'll be a great success. And then on the top sides, I looked at Bodo. Now Bodo's played some quality football, but they've had 25 transfers going out over the close season, and they've had 22 players coming in. 2 of those players, Pellegrino and Mombanga, which we have mentioned, have left. So they will potentially need to restructure a bit, get the team combinations correct. And this may open the door for the likes of Viking, Rosenberg, and Moldy. As I say, this is just my opinion. So don't take it to the bank, but it'll be interesting to see how the season plays out.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's I think that's a tough one. It's always tough to choose who you think is going to be top and bottom. It's quite easy in the Premier League, isn't it? Really, not necessarily the top, but usually you go with the relegated teams for the bottom, and you have a fair shout. So it's a bit easier. Right. Which one are we going to next? What Arsenal player is a must-have for the up-and-coming game week, and your prediction for the City versus Arsenal match? Speed, you go first, and then I'll crack in on this one as well.
I would say I'll first start off by saying I don't think a lot of managers, unless they ardent gunners like myself, will select too many Arsenal players. So for this weekend's game, because obviously we're playing away at the Etihad Stadium. But I think they could be seen as differentials, and if we do pull the win or a draw, etc., I think they could score quite well. But I think Declan Rice is the safest bet. He'll score well, as I mentioned earlier, no matter what. Central midfield, works back, works forward, has an opportunity to get on the goal sheet or obviously assist. And I'm quietly confident, if it's not at least a draw, that we can sneak a win there. I really do.
Yeah. What did I say earlier to you? Is it 2-2 I think I said?
You said 2-2. Obviously, there's some discussions around Saka, Martinelli,
Mm-hmm.
and their
Gabriel.
availability, and Gabriel, etc. Whether Arteta's just pulling a couple of moves, we don't know. But either way, I think we really do stand a good chance there.
Yeah, I'm going in a little more confident than I normally would be, put it that way, just because of how well we perform. But I really would like to know that our, Saka's fine, and that Gabriel in particular, because of our defence, yeah, obviously if he's not available, then I think our chances become a lot more difficult. But they have injuries themselves, right? So Stones, I think, picked up a bit of an injury. Walker also picked up a bit of an injury. So I think it could be a good one. There should definitely be goals. That Haaland apparently picked up an injury, but then he did play. So in his international match, so I think he's fine. Yeah.
There's also been a very, very long break for Arsenal, obviously, with us being out of the FA Cup and things like that. So yes, it can work. Can work to our detriment, because obviously there was international football and many of our players travelled, same as Man City's. But maybe, if I could say, there's maybe some fresher legs, etc. And this game week comes around on Sunday, it'll be exciting to see. Like I said, it'll be a good. No matter what the result is, it'll be a fantastic game, and no matter who wins or loses, the Premiership title is still going to be on the line, going down to the wire. And I think that's what makes this season very, very exciting.
Agreed. Are we home or away, Speedy?
We are away.
Ooh, it makes it slightly tougher, I think, because we've been so good at home. But yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna give it a good go. That's what we're here to do. Crypto Sparky said he wants Sanderford to do well this season, have a few of their players. So yeah, that's
We'll be good. We'll be good to will be good to watch Sandalford. I think Sarpsborg had a couple of great results throughout the season. They had an amazing midfield that scored consistently well. I think one or two of them have moved on from then. Me personally, I need to rebuild Norway. I did pick up Fredriksson on an auction the other night, but I really need to rebuild before it's just summer. And we potentially have Norway playing, so I can be competitive in a couple of the higher divisions.
Okay, Nicolay asks, how much do you appreciate the Persona influence on Ultimate Champions? Share your insights with podcast listeners.
I think the hype and the engagement that transpired with the build-up, the positive response that we received in general about the art sneak peeks and the actual art, how it was done, is quite amazing. It showcases the versatility of Unagi as a gaming studio, which I think is massive. It deserves a lot of respect. It will potentially attract more eyes on Unagi and its other products like UC. We maybe don't see it right now, but as a whole, I think it's going to be beneficial. When the perks are released pertaining to the UNA and what perks a Persona holders will get by holding it, and potential staking and things like that. I think holistically, as a gaming studio that is branching out on the PFP side, we've got the fantasy football going. We're potentially going to branch out in the future on other type of category games and things like that. I think it can only be beneficial. You may not get as much cross pollination between games, but there will definitely be some that mix and match. And obviously, the bigger Unagi as a gaming studio grow, it can only benefit any of the products that they have underneath the umbrella. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I am with you there as well. Okay, before I answer Hazzy's more wider question, do you want to give the guys, since we've got a decent amount here, so pop a like, guys, if you're enjoying the stream. Would you like to give them how they can get some prizes this week? Because they've waited, they've been very patient.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. So what we will do is we'll run a once-off Game Week 160 NIMS Easter Cup private league. I will create the league like we did previously on the stream. Only the guys that are in the stream are permitted to take part. You will need to drop me a DM in my personal DM on Discord. I will then share that invite link. Please don't share that invite link with anyone else. We will have a look at the
For your
leaderboard.
eyes only.
Yes, and we will have a look at the leaderboard at the end and correlate it with the stream to make sure that you were in the stream. First place, gold pack. Second place, silver pack. Third place, jumbo pack. Those are the prizes just for Game Week 160. We'll set up the private league a little later and start sending those invites to the guys who DM me this evening and obviously tomorrow morning leading up to the Game Week. Don't forget the Game Week starts early tomorrow.
Yeah, you are spoiling us, Speedy. Absolutely spoiling us. So everybody, seriously, if you are in the chat now, say thank you to Speedy and happy Easter as well from myself and from Speedy. And yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy taking part in that one. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yes, make sure that you DM Speedy and get in that league, and it's for your eyes only, okay? Only for your eyes. It's for this stream.
Don't forget to like, subscribe the channel as well. That's always one of our parameters. So make sure you do that as well, please, guys.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, before you run away and do that and DM Speedy, surely you want to know Hazzy's main question, because, that has been the real cliffhanger of this whole stream. And he asked, what is your favourite jacket potato filling? So, Speedy, I know a few people have seen your reply already, but just tell the stream listeners.
I knew he was gonna release something like that. So I just said cream cheese, but actually thinking a little further, cream cheese.
He's changed his mind.
No, combination. Cream cheese, bacon, and butter combined. Obviously, a bit of salt and pepper, and things like that. I think is quite amazing. What I also enjoy is just a normal butter and mayonnaise on a nice, soft, crumbly jacket potato is also fantastic.
Butter and mayonnaise, just butter and mayonnaise.
Just butter and mayonnaise. Obviously, you could do a bit of garlic. In South Africa, we also braai. Now, what a braai is for people that don't know is it's a barbecue. So we also do the jacket potatoes in tin foil and have nice spices and goodies inside as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets cooked nicely. And we don't cook it on a grid, but put it amongst the coals to cook it as well. So that's quite amazing as well.
Yeah. One thing you guys have, which is really nice, which might be quite nice at Easter as well. Didn't you like put a slice into a banana and put like chocolate and goodies and stuff in it, and then wrap it up and put it in the coals as well? One of my South African friends does that quite a lot, and that's really yummy.
That really sounds like a banana split to me. So yes,
It's so yummy and quite nice at Easter because you get lots of chocolate along with it. But you can put a bit of not that I'm promoting this on the stream, but an alcoholic beverage of some kind on top as well goes quite nicely. But
of course, yes.
We don't promote. We don't promote. Just if you happen to be in that way inclined. But for myself, so I'm dairy free. Not really by choice because I love cheese. I'm intolerant rather than an allergy. So thankfully, I still do have a bit of cheese because it's the one thing that I cannot do. I'd like all of the milks and stuff I'm good with, but I do miss cheese. So every now and again, I will suffer to have some. I will suffer to have some cheese. So I quite like when I can have some butter, obviously, coleslaw and cheese. I like a bit of coleslaw and cheese. So beans and cheese is another good combo as well. So they're probably my two favourite jacket potato fillings. So yes. What is yours, guys? Do you even like jacket potatoes? Is there anyone out there that doesn't like a jacket potato? I think we all like jacket potatoes, don't we? So, right, everyone's saying thank you in the chat, Speedy, for and saying happy Easter. You're more than welcome. any more. We've got a question from Nazarat. Which 3 forwards would you play this week? Hang on, sorry, it's a bit small. Let me bring it up. Lewandowski, Kransikai, and Coman out of those 3, or would you replace one?
I think all 3 of those are pretty decent selections. Another one to look out for on Norway, and this time I'm talking about the odd side, is Ingebrigtsen. He really came to form at the latter end of last season. So he could be another one to throw in. I did see one on the marketplace. I think it was about $40 lying there. So yeah, he could be another one that you can throw in. Obviously, Peterborough, you've got your Mason Efren Clark. I mean, he's doing very, very well. Peterborough, as we mentioned, are playing bottom of the table. So yeah, there's quite a few. I think forwards, you need to look at the matchups, but not always take into consideration the matchups, if you know what I mean, because forwards can bag goals whenever they want. But those specific selections, they seem decent to me.
Yeah, I agree actually. Yeah. Definitely play lemon chopsticks though. Definitely. Okay then guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you all so much for joining us. You've been amazing. It's been really great. And actually we've really loved getting those questions as well on Discord, because I think it's always nice to have the interaction with you guys and getting involved. So we'll try and do that a bit more often, so keep your eyes open for those, definitely. And I really hope to see as many of you in that league as possible, because it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's a big happy Easter from me and Speedy.
Happy Easter to all of you. Good luck for the game week. Good luck for Nim's Easter Cup. And score well. Just not as good as me.
See you soon.
Bye-bye, guys.
Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night? Stay in this street for Can we turn back the night? Stay in this street Can we turn back the night? Same old places come alive. Wherever we are, feels like I'm seeing with new eyes. Even in the dark, let's go get lost. Just take my hand.